Alright, welcome in everybody to the BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we've got one case of 2024 Leaf Vivid Baseball to get into. I'll get started. Feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks. And let you know when we go live and be live. Also, you mentioned no purchase necessary from link down in the description. Box number 1, Ryan Sandberg, 2 of 5. Blake Mitchell, 2 of 3. Chris Cortez, 1 of 1. Angel Martinez, 3 of 3. Eric Batoni, 2 of 6. And Braylon Dowdy, 2 of 7. And extra card here, Felon Celestine, 2 of 7. Maybe not extra, but I didn't notice it. Cam Kojal, 3 of 9. Jackson Churio, 1 of 5. AJ Gracia, 1 of 8. Landon Rupp, 5 of 10. Zebby Matthews, 5 of 7. Blake Burke, 8 of 10. And Jesus Mate, 2 of 5. Jalen Flores, 1 of 9. Trey Savage, 4 of 6. Wellington Hadeda, 4 of 6. Trey Phelps, 1 of 4. Miguel Blaze, 1 of 1. Cam Kojal, 2 of 5. And Dylan Cruz, 5 of 7. Leo DeVries. That's odd. We got this a little bit reversed. Fix that. Manny Ramirez, 4 of 9. Rock Shawalski, 2 of 9. Leo DeVries, 8 of 8. Pretty plate, 1 of 1 for Trey Savage. Jacob Melton, 6 of 10. Chase Burns, 1 of 2. And Kobe Mayo, 1 of 4. Zebby Matthews, 5 of 5. Samuel Basallo, 5 of 5. Brandon Montgomery, 4 of 8. Nick Kurtz, 7 of 7. Brady House, 3 of 5. Carter Holden, 1 of 10. And Nolan Ryan Juan Gonzalez, 4 of 5 dual auto. Nice. That'll be going to random.org at the end of the break. Stay tuned for that if you have either of those guys. Box number 6. Mark McGuire, 5 of 5. Kane Dana, 4 of 6. Jordan Beck, 2 of 3. Steve Monster Millam, 1 of 9. Vaheba Aloy, 5 of 9. Griffin Burkholder, 5 of 10. And Eddie Murray, illustrations, 1 of 1. Jason Churio, 2 of 8. George Brett, 8 of 10. Caden Bodine, 4 of 6. Ethan Petrie, 5 of 10. Quinn Young, 1 of 10. Chase Mobley, 3 of 5. And Burt Blyleven and Jeff Reardon, dual auto, 3 of 9. Box number 8. Spencer Jones, 1 of 7. Don Mattingly, 3 of 3. Jake Bloss, 3 of 6. Kalen Culpepper, 2 of 8. Jeremy Rodriguez, 4 of 10. Cam Caminiti, 5 of 6. And triple auto, Matt Shaw, Jefferson Rojas, and Moises Ballesteros, 5 of 8. That's nice. Box number 9. Bernardo Tatis, 8 of 9. Jeff Bagwell, Brittany Clay, 1 of 1. Colt Emerson, 1 of 1. Santiago Suarez, 3 of 7. Gary Sheffield, 1 of 1. Kennedy Corona, 2 of 5. And Emmanuel Rodriguez, 9 of 10. And final box of the break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Nolan Ryan, 5 of 9. Dean Moss, 4 of 6. Drake Baldwin, 2 of 5. Luis Morales, 4 of 8. Brendan Summerhill, 5 of 5. Rock Chwalski, 6 of 9. And Bryce Rayner to close us out, 5 of 7. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. Really do appreciate it. We've got more of this, as well as plenty of other baseball breaks coming up as we get further into the season. For the hits, Ryan Sandberg, Blake Mitchell, Chris Cortez, Angel Martinez, Eric Batoni, Braylon Dowdy, Felon Celestine, Cam Kojal, Jackson Churio, AJ Gracia, Landon Rupp, Zebby Matthews, Blake Burke, Jesus Made, Jalen Flores, Trey Savage, Wellington Herrera, Trey Phelps, Dylan Cruz, Miguel Blaze, Cam Kojal, Manny Ramirez, Rock Chwalski, Leo DeVries, Trey Savage, Jacob Melton, Chase Burns, Kobe Mayo, Zebby Matthews, Samuel Basallo, Brady Montgomery, Nick Kurtz, Brady House, Carter Holton, Mark McGuire, Caden Dana, Jordan Beck, Steve Monster Mellum, Vaheva Aloy, Griffin Burkholder, Eddie Murray, Jason Churio, George Brett, Caden Bodine, Ethan Petrie, Quinn Young, Chase Mobley, Spencer Jones, Don Mattingly, Jake Bloss, Kalen Culpepper, Jeremy Rodriguez, Cam Caminiti, Fernando Tatis, Jeff Bagwell, Colt Emerson, Santiago Suarez, Gary Sheffield, Kennedy Corona, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Nolan Ryan, Dean Moss, Drake Baldwin, Luis Morales, Brendan Summerhill, Rock Chwalski, Bryce Rayner. And going to random.org, Nolan Ryan, Juan Gonzalez, Burt Blyleven, Jeff Reardon, and Matt Shaw, Jefferson Rojas, Moises Ballesteros. All right, that is it for baseball. Thank you guys again for being here. We are on to Leaf Metal Football here in a few minutes. But first, we're going to go to random.org and get these guys knocked out real quick. Back with that in a second. Alright, we've got random .org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Got to be 3 or higher to be valid for us. We're going to go 10 times on each random, starting off with Nolan Ryan and Juan Gonzalez dual auto. That is 9 times. Final roll. Nolan Ryan coming out on top. Congratulations. Next up is Bert Blyleven and Jeff Reardon. That is 9 times. Final roll. Jeff Reardon coming out on top. Congratulations. And finally, the triple auto of Matt Shaw, Jefferson Rojas, and Moises Ballesteros. That is 9 times. Final roll. Moises Ballesteros coming out on top. Congratulations. Alright, that will do it for baseball. We are on to 2025 Leaf Metal Football here in just a second. Going to get that set up and good to go. Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm Beans. We got one case, 2025 Leaf Metal Football to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know when we go live and be live. Also, need to mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. Box number 1, good luck everybody. TJ Lateef out of 149. Malik Washington, 4/5. This is lacking, as you can see, the nice little sheen on it. It's like mostly paper. Joe Montana, 11/15. Phil Moffitt, draft bound, 3/5. Dylan Sampson, 11/12. Tyler Cherry, 5/5. Dia Bell, 10/10. Box number 2, Caden Dixon Wyatt out of 149. Jeremiah Love out of 149. Next in line for Maverick McIver, such a great name, 7 of 12. Jarrett Gibson, 2 of 4. Jackson Arnold, Armed Forces, 1 of 2. Cam Davis, 7 of 12. And Bryce Underwood, 10 of 20. Nice. How do you buy these boxes? Are you asking how do we buy the boxes? Or... because this is a figure player break, my friend. Xavier Estrepo out of 149. Samuel Brown out of 49. CJ Tiller, 6 of 10. Amari Black, 2 of 7. Jaden Bow, 3 of 5. Celeste Moa, 4 of 5. And George McIntyre, Armed Forces, 1 of 10. Dan Marino started at box number 4 out of 149. Mabry Mettauer, 2 of 5. Peyton Houston, 7 of 15. Next in line for Robert Lewis, printing plate 1 of 1. Nate Frazier, 4 of 10. Braden Fowler Nicolosi, 2 of 7. And Garrett Nussmeier, Armed Forces, 3 of 10. Boom. Drew Brees out of 149, or excuse me, 19 of 49. Devin Dampierre, 1 of 7. Landon Holly, 1 of 10. Omarion Miller, 1 of 1. Ethan Grunkmeyer, 11 of 15. TJ Lateef, 3 of 7. And triple auto, Billy Edwards Jr., Dylan Jones, and Trek Kekahuna, 2 of 8. Nice. Ryder Lyons out of 149. Drew Aller, 47 of 49. Dylan Risk, 5 of 8. Helman Kasuga, 1 of 3. Ethan Kaliakmanis, 1 of 1. Javon Tracy, 6 of 8. And Gunnar Stockton, 4th of 20. Box number 7. Jared Curtis out of 49. Troy Polamalu out of 149. Le'Veon Moss, 5 of 8. Hank Brown, 1 of 1. Phillip Bell, 4 of 10. Graham Mertz, 7 of 7. And DJ Lagway, 1 of 1. Boom. Joe Montana out of 49. Cam Coleman out of 149. Nick Anderson, 8 of 10. Daniel Melky, 9 of 10. Tommy Malott, 5 of 10. Ty Hawkins, 3 of 4. And Savage Jeremiah Love, 4 of 10. Boom. Printing plate 1/1 for DeQuan Finn. Raheem Sanders out of 149. Noah Rogers 2/10. Colin Lacey 1/10. Cameron Edge 1/7. Jackson Taylor 2/3. And Nicholas Singleton 5/5. Jana Daniels out of 49. Dallin Hayden out of 149. Penny Boone 1/1. Will Griffin 7/8. Trevor Jackson 4/5. That is not how you spell Trevor. Aaron Anderson 1/1. And Diego Pavia printing plate 1/1. I don't like Vandy much, but Diego Pavia is nice. Peyton Manning out of 149. Brady Cook out of 149. Caleb Jackson 3/8. Caden Dixon Wyatt 11/12. Kendrick Law 4/10. Micah Hudson 2/4. And Tyrone McMillan 1/10. And final box of the break. Box of 12. Good luck, everybody. Jackson Arnold out of 149. Eddie George 17/49. Jaden Wilson 2/8. Jake Brenningstool 11/12. Donovan Olugbode 13/15. JT Lindsay 2/3. And triple auto Juju Lewis, Antoine Hill Jr. and Camario Taylor 11/20. Boom. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. Really do appreciate that. We do have more 2025 football products coming up. We got more metal, and then we have Pro Set metal coming out this week. That is coming out on the 13th officially. And we have cases on cases of that up and listed. So look forward to having you guys in for that. All right. For the hits, TJ Lateef, Malik Washington, Joe Montana, Phil Maffa, Dylan Sampson, Tyler Cherry, Dia Bell, Caden Dixon Wyatt, Jeremiah Live, Maverick McIver, Jared Gibson, Jackson Arnold, Cam Davis, Bryce Underwood, Xavier Restrepo, Samuel Brown, CJ Tiller, Amari D. Black, Jaden Ball, Celeste Moa, George McIntyre, Dan Marino, Mary Metzauer, Peyton Houston, Robert Lewis, Nate Frazier, Braden Fowler Nicolosi, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Brees, Devon Dampierre, Landon Holly, Amari Miller, Ethan Grunkmeyer, TJ Lateef, Ryder Lyons, Drew Aller, Dylan Risk, Helman Kasuga, Ethan Kaliakmanis, Javon Tracy, Gunnar Stockton, Jared Curtis, Troy Polamalu, Le'Veon Moss, Hank Brown, Philip Bell, Graham Mertz, DJ Lagway, Joe Montana, Cam Coleman, Nick Anderson, Daniel Melky, Tommy Malott, Ty Hawkins, Jeremiah Love, DeQuan Finn, Raheem Sanders, Noah Rogers, Colin Lacey, Cameron Edge, Jackson Taylor, Nicholas Singleton, Jaden Daniels, Dallin Hayden, Penny Boone, Will Griffin, Trevor Jackson, Aaron Anderson, Diego Pavia, Peyton Manning, Brady Cook, Caleb Jackson, Caden Dixon Wyatt, Kendrick Law, Micah Hudson, Tyrone McMillan, Jackson Arnold, Eddie George, Jaden Wilson, Jake Brenningstool, Donovan Olugbode, JT Lindsay. And for the randoms, we've got 2 of them to take care of. 2 triples. Billy Edwards, Dylan Jones, Trek Kekahuna, and Juju Lewis, Antoine Hill Jr., and Camario Taylor. All right, that is it for football. We are on to 2025 Leaf Metal Pop Century here in a few minutes. Going to get that set up and good to go. But first, we've got to knock these guys out. We're going to head to random.org real quick and get them to their proper homes. Get you guys back here in a second. All right, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Going to be 3 hard to be valid for us. And we're going to go 9 times on the random, starting off with Billy Edwards, Dylan Jones, and Trek Kekahuna. 7 times, 8 times. 4 plus 5 is 9. Final roll. Billy Edwards Jr. coming out on top. Congratulations. And finally, Juju Lewis, Antoine Hill Jr., Camario Taylor. That is 8 times. Final roll. Juju Lewis staying on top. Congratulations. All right, that will do it for football. Thank you guys again. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. We've got 2025 Leaf Metal Pop Century coming up in a few minutes. Going to get that set up and good to go. Catch you guys back here shortly. Alright, welcome in everybody to the BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we've got one case of 2025 Leaf Metal Pop Century to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks. And let you know we go live at eBay Live. Also, you to mention no bird is necessary for the link down in the description. Box number 1. Good luck, everybody. Heather Locklear and John O'Hurley, printing plate, start off the press proofs. John C. McGinley, 1 of 1. Juliette Lewis, 9 of 25. Christy Swanson, 1 of 6. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, 347 out of 500 on card. Dylan McDermott and Bo Derek, printing plate. Ernest Thomas, 5 of 5. Mike Myers, Nick Castle. Boom. That's a great one. 1 of 5. Catherine Bach, 4 of 6. And Helen Hunt, 5 of 15. Ernest Thomas and Dana Barron. Dougie Doug, 11 of 15. Leon Robinson, 25 of 25. Patty McCormick, 2 of 25. And co-stars, Sextuple Auto, Dominic Chianase, Drea Di Matteo, Michael Imperioli, Lorraine Bracco, Catherine Narducci, and Federico Castelluccio. Boom. 2 of 3. And that will be going to random.org at the end of the break. Stay tuned for that. That is a big one. Quad press proof, Ed O'Neill, Amanda Bearsey, Katie Segal, and Christina Applegate. That will also be going to random.org. And Dick Van Dyke. Federico Castelluccio, and that is just a glorious autograph. I can 100% read every syllable. Drake Bell, 6 of 6. Griffin Dunn, 3 of 25. And Scream Team, Kate Beckinsale, 3 of 5. Nice. Box number 5. Scream Team, Jenny McCarthy, Richard Greco, Chris Kirkpatrick, 3 of 7. Josh Gad, 15 of 15. Chukwudi Owuji, 1 of 3. And vote for Pedro, Efren Ramirez. Inscribed on card, 33 out of 150. Thomas Ian Nicholas, Chris Kirkpatrick, Mike Mylock, 4 of 4. Tom Berenger, 1 of 1. Mystery Redemption for the Mystery Redemption spot. And Kelsey Grammer, 18 of 25. Quad Press Proof, Eric Stoltz, Roseanne Arquette, John Travolta, and Uma Thurman. And Melissa Gilbert. Sean Astin, 2 of 5. Barbara Eden, I Dream of Genie, 5 of 10. Whew! Ewan McGregor, Blockbuster Summer, 1 of 1. Boom. And Christy Swanson, 10 of 10. Box of 8. Gordon Gekko, Mr. Michael Douglas. Tim Robbins. Gata. Ari Lehman. Gata's out of 10. Ari Lehman's 7 of 7. Kay Flannery, 1 of 7. And Giancarlo Esposito and Stephen Bauer. Co-stars, 1 of 1. Boom. Personally, I'm hoping that Gus wins that over the Don. Heather Locklear, Tom Wopat, Cheech, 1 of 15. Famke Janssen, 4 of 10. John Carpenter, 2 of 3. And Rosario Dawson, 1 of 1. Boom. And final box to break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Last of the press proofs, Susan Anton and Wanya Morris. Michael O'Keefe, 2 of 5. Eric Stoltz, 3 of 7. Selma Blair, 3 of 8. And on card inscribed, Danny Glover. Boom. 40 out of 100. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break. As always, we do have more cases of this, as well as multiple other years of Pop up and available. Look forward to having y'all back in here for those. All right, for the hits, Dylan McDermott, Bo Derek, Ernest Thomas, Catherine Bach, Helen Hunt, Ernest Thomas, Dana Barron, Dougie Doug, Heather Locklear, Dick Van Dyke, Federico Castelluccio, Drake Bell, Griffin Dunn, Chris Kirkpatrick, Chukwudi Owuji, Efren Ramirez, Chris Kirkpatrick, Mystery Redemption, Barbara Eden, Ewan McGregor, Deviante Gata Ganter, Ari Lehman, Heather Locklear, Cheech Marin, Famke Janssen, Eric Stoltz, Danny Glover, Nick Castle, Leon Robinson, Patty McCormick, John C. McGinley, Juliette Lewis, Christy Swanson, John O'Hurley, Kate Beckinsale, Jenny McCarthy, Josh Gad, Mike Mylock, Kelsey Grammer, Melissa Gilbert, Christy Swanson, Michael Douglas, Kate Flannery, John Carpenter, Michael O'Keefe, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Richard Greco, Thomas Ian Nicholas, Tom Berenger, Sean Aston, Tim Robbins, Tom Wopat, Rosario Dawson, Susan Anton, Wanye Morris, Selma Blair. And for the multis, press proof quads for Christina Applegate, Katie Segal, Amanda Bearsey, and Ed O'Neill. Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette, John Travolta, and Uma Thurman. Dual auto 1 of 1, Giancarlo Esposito and Stephen Bauer. And sextuple auto, Dominic Chianese, Drea De Matteo, Michael Imperioli, Lorena Bracco, Catherine Narducci, and Federico Castelluccio. 2 of 3. Alright, we're going to head to random.org and get these knocked out. Stay tuned for that. If you're in 2025 Leaf Metal Sports Heroes, that is coming up at the top of the hour. Look forward to having you all in for that. And we'll be ready for it in a few. To random.org we go. Alright, we've got random the door pulled up and good to go. Gotta roll some dice, get it through your high to be valid for us. We're gonna go 5 times on each random, starting off with the press proof quads. First up is Christina Applegate, Kitty Seagal, Amanda Bearcy, and Ed O'Neill. That is 4 times. Final rope. Ed O'Neill coming out on top. Congratulations. Next up is Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette, John Travolta, and Uma Thurman. That is 4 times. Final rope. Eric Stoltz coming out on top. Congratulations. Next up is the duel 1 of 1. Giancarlo Esposito and Stephen Bauer. That is 4 times. Final rope. Giancarlo Esposito taking it home. Congratulations. And finally, Dominic Chianase, Drea Di Matteo, Michael Imperioli, Lorraine Bracco, Catherine Narducci, and Federico Castelluccio. Sextuple auto out of 3. That is 4 times. Final rope. Catherine Narducci coming out on top. Congratulations. Alright, that is it for Pop. We are on to 2025 Leaf Metal Sports Heroes here in a few minutes. Gonna get that set up and good to go. And for the rest of you, thank you. And until next time, this is BMC Collectibles Breaks. See you guys back here sometime soon. Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we got one case of 2025 Elite Metal Sports Heroes to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, BMC.collectibles, and save the seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks. And let you know we go live on eBay Live. Also, to mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. Alright. Box number one. Good luck, everybody. All cards are encased. 45 cards in total. Let's see what we got. Brandy Chastain, 1 of 15. John Morant, straight out the gate, 1 of 35. And Big Sexy, Bartola Cologne, on card inscribed, 48 out of 100. I like that he's aware of the nickname and embraces it. Raheem Rocket Ismail, 16 of 30. Mike Piazza, 5 of 5. Frank Thomas, on card inscribed, 55 out of 100. Cheryl Miller, 1 of 1. Maya Hamm, 3 of 3. And Lennox Lewis, 1 of 1. Nice. Dwight Howard, 1 of 1. Johnny Bench, 14 of 20. And dual auto, Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, 1 of 1. That'll be going to random.org at the end of the break. Stay tuned for that if you have either of those guys. That's nice. Archie Manning, 7 of 9. Mike Tyson, 7 of 9. Ronnie Coleman, 64 out of 100 on card. Dante Hall, 6 of 9. Mike Schmidt, 4 of 7. And dual auto, DB Sweeney and Charlie Sheen, 1 of 4. Gary Sheffield, 23 of 35. Vladimir Guerrero, 7 of 15. Magic Johnson and Steve Nash, 10 of 10. Boom. Greg Oden, 31/35. Brett Favre, 6/35. And Felix Hernandez, on card inscribed, 83/100. Box number 9, Drew Pearson, 22/35. Penny Hardaway, 15/15. And Travis Hunter, 1/1. Boom. Box number 10. Edgar Martinez, 3/15. Jim Kelly, 6/15. Paul Skeens, 6/10. Boom. Great case so far. Lenny Wilkins, 2/15. Joe Montana, 28/35. And Goldberg, 3/10. Jim Leland, 5/9. Steve Nash, 8/15. It's a young Steve Nash. And Jim Kelly, inscribed on card, 33/100. Paul Krause, 9/25. Joe Klico, 50/100. And 1/1, Patrick Mahomes, Win City. Boom. Box number 14. Killer Juliana Miller, 2/3. Reggie Jackson, 7/15. And Troy Polamalu, on card inscribed, black and yellow, 91/100. And final box of the break, box number 15. Good luck, everybody. Dwight Gooden, 4/4. Nick Dunlap, 6/35. And Barry Sanders, on card inscribed, 86/100. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break as always. Really do appreciate it. Look forward to having you back here sometime in the very near future. We've got plenty more multi-sport stuff from Leaf up and running. And more on the way as well. All right, for the hits, Brandy Chastain, Bartola Colon, Frank Thomas, Cheryl Miller, Dwight Howard, Archie Manning, Dante Hall, Gary Sheffield, Greg Oden, Brett Favre, Felix Hernandez, Drew Pearson, and Fernie Hardaway, Edgar Martinez, Goldberg, Dwight Gooden, Barry Sanders, John Morant, Mike Piazza, Maya Hamm, Lennox Lewis, Johnny Bench, Mike Tyson, Mike Schmidt, Jim Kelly, Lenny Wilkins, Joe Montana, Jim Leland, Jim Kelly, Paul Krause, Joe Klitko, Juliana Miller, Nick Dunlap, Patrick Mahomes. Rahib Rocket Ismail, Ronnie Coleman, Vladimir Guerrero, Travis Hunter, Paul Skeens, Steve Nash, Reggie Jackson, Troy Polamalu. And for the 3 duels going to random.org here at the end of the break, Charlie Sheen, DB Sweeney, Magic Johnson, Steve Nash, and Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. Alright, that is it for us for today. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. We look forward to having you back here sometime soon. We're going to head over to random.org and get these knocked out real quick. And that will be it for us for today. Get you guys back here in a few seconds for the randoms. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Got to be through a hard resolve for us. Ready to go 8 times on the random, starting with Charlie Sheen and DB Sweeney. That is 7 times. 2 plus 6 is 8. Final roll. Charlie Sheen coming out on top. Congratulations. Next up is Magic Johnson and Steve Nash. That is 7 times. Final roll. Magic Johnson coming out on top. Congratulations. And finally, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. That is 7 times. Final roll. Lennox Lewis coming out on top. Congratulations. All right, that is it for us for today. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. Thank you guys for being here and spending a little bit of your Wednesday morning here with us. And hope you have a great rest of your hump day. Lead into the weekend. And we'll catch you guys back here in the next one.